In a bold move, the Swiss National Bank is reportedly considering adding Bitcoin to its national reserves. Advocates see this as a monumental step towards integrating cryptocurrency into the heart of Switzerland's financial system. The decision, if realized, could mark a historic turning point, reshaping the country's financial landscape and solidifying its position as a pioneer in finance. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and let's start. So we're starting off with, here we go, early Bitcoin stages of the logo. Great find by Borrowik. As here we could see the start of the Bitcoin, how the logo actually looked like. Then in the next year it was changed again by Satoshi Nakamoto with a newly updated version which looked pretty good, I would say. And also I would say the 2010 by Phil Willison. This is the one we're actually having right now. And basically that's what we have. Next up, UAE dominating in crypto with 72% in Bitcoin. No surprise, smart moves from a smart nation. Just in, United Arab Emirates leads the Middle East in crypto adoption with 72% of local users investing in Bitcoin. So, Warren Buffett exactly 1 year ago, I wouldn't spend $25 to buy all the Bitcoin in the world. Since then, Bitcoin is up $500 billion, which is why you don't take investment advice from 90 years old. The Bitcoin miners fees, I keep hearing and reading bears saying miners fees are back to normal. They probably don't know what the normal was before halving. By the way, I hope they are right, this has been the new normal for us. Next up, just in, S&P 500 company Raymond James subsidiaries declare holdings of Bitcoin ETF GBTC worth $3 million. Combined AUM is $625 billion right there. Today is the start of the Bitcoin summer and everything is already green and up by a lot on day one. This is the promised land. All of us had plenty of time to be all in. It's go time now. All we do is stay humble, do nothing, and refuse the urge to spit on the bears up only. And a 30% compound annual growth rate, Bitcoin will be worth $245,000 in 5 years, $909,000 in 10 years, $3.3 million in 15 years. Is it too bearish? Let's play with some numbers. So at a 40% compound annual growth rate, the Bitcoin will be worth $354K in 5 years, $1.9 million in 10 years, $10 million in 15 years, but we are only getting started. At a 50% compound annual growth rate, Bitcoin will be worth $500K in 5 years, $3.8 million in 10 years, $29 million in 15 years. But what's about the right now? What's in the current CAGR? Let's keep going. Over the last 4 years, Bitcoin has had a CAGR of 73%. What does the price look like if this continues? 1 million in 5 years, 16.5 million in 10 years, 260 million in 15 years. These numbers are getting insane, but I'm not done. If Bitcoin has had a CAGR of more than 100% for the majority of its lifespan, what if that continues? 2.1 million in 5 years, 67 million in 10 years, and $2.1 billion in 15 years. In summation, go buy more Bitcoin. Also, what is here? Today, 99% of people don't want to take a risk with Bitcoin, but in a few years, they will shit on anyone who did because they got lucky. If Bitcoin drops back to 60K for any reason, buy. You have had 2 opportunities already. Market manipulation gave you the second chance. If you get a third chance to buy 60K, you should buy, I promise. The fourth chance will not happen for you, and you need to understand that. We're going to see Bitcoin trading above 80,000 before the end of the month. Our alts are going to run another 5-10x from these levels, and then we will consolidate, have a few boring weeks months before the retail rally to 200K per Bitcoin. The 2 best trades who timed the top and bottom of the previous cycle are also saying 200K plus. Position wisely. Bitcoin, we discussed this as a potential bearish scenario for Bitcoin last week on a live stream. Sometimes when these diagonals break, they retest trendline higher to stop hunt shorts and create the long FOMO, then continue back to breakdown target. Clear this trend line and we send it though. Bitcoin is the past-dependent one-time invention. Its breakthrough is discovery of absolute scarcity, a monetary property never before achieved by mankind. The monetization of Bitcoin is an irreproducible process precisely because it is the discovery of irreproducible money. And the next one is halving has finished and the markets are going up again. Bitcoin dominance goes back down, which means that a rotation has slowly started. Breaking news: Swiss Bitcoiner to launch petition for the national bank to buy Bitcoin for its national reserves. By including Bitcoin in its reserves, Switzerland would mark its independence from the European Central Bank. Such a step would strengthen our neutrality. As well as Bitcoin Swiss referendum for the adoption of the Bitcoin by the central bank. Switzerland, known for its innovative and cautious approach to finance, is facing a potentially historic turning point. Bitcoin advocates in this alpine country are once again mobilizing, seeking to integrate this cryptocurrency into the national reserves of the Swiss National Bank. This article explores the nuances of this bold initiative and the implications such a decision could have on Switzerland's financial neutrality and sovereignty. The reiterated movement was hopes to see Bitcoin. In October 2021, a first attempt to enshrine Bitcoin as a reserve currency in the Swiss constitution failed due to an insufficient number of signatures to trigger a referendum. But Bitcoin's ardent supporters are not discouraged. Under the leadership of Yves Benyam, founder of the B24CH, a non-profit think tank, and with the support of the influential figures such as Lucius Miser of Bitcoin's use, a new campaign is launched. Their argument, the adoption of Bitcoin by the SNB would strengthen Switzerland's position of neutrality and independence in the face of fluctuations of the major fiat currencies and influences from foreign central banks, particularly that of the Eurozone. The initiative requires the support of more than 100,000 Swiss citizens, a significant challenge given the previous failure. This time, organizers present more compelling economic arguments, including the hypothetical increase in national wealth by $33 billion had a proposal been accepted earlier. Lucius Miser also highlights the risks of delay in adopting Bitcoin, which could force Switzerland to acquire digital assets at a higher cost later on, as other central banks incorporate this crypto into their reserves. International outlook and implications. As Bitcoin advocates prepare their offensive to convince citizens and SNB officials, the international context could work in their favor. Recent approvals, Bitcoin-based exchange-traded funds in the United States and Hong Kong are evidence of Bitcoin's growing integration into traditional financial systems. This global momentum could encourage Switzerland to reassess this position so as not to fall behind in the race to diversify and secure national reserves. The Swiss initiative to make Bitcoin an integral part of the national reserves reflects the tensions between the tradition and innovation, as debates rage on the outcome of this new attempt may well reveal just how a foreign country is willing to go to protect and strengthen its financial autonomy in a rapidly changing world. So the April 26 meeting with SNB could mark a decisive turning point in this bold quest for independence through the crypto. So that's kind of all the information we got for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next one, and peace.